what the CJ is going through is something that is preconceived by the government. They didn't mince words. It was virtually part of their campaign promises. Anytime a case went against them, there was a problem with the judiciary. Anytime a case went for them, the judiciary was kosher. So, for me, the only good thing in this is the Chief Justice has refused to be bullied out of her position. She is the leader of the bench, though suspended, but as it stands, she's the leader of the bench. And she's standing up for what is right. With all the stories we hear about the judiciary, how many of us get issues and petition the executive or go to parliament? We all go to the court.
Because that's where you're supposed to go.
Yes. When you take the presidency, you become a president on the ticket of a political party. So technically, the presidency is colored, depending on which party brings you in. And whatever policies and ideologies you move with ties into what your party's ideals are. We go to parliament. Minority, majority. You're sponsored by a party. Even though you end up becoming a member of parliament for a constituency, you go in there on the ticket of a political party. How many judges are appointed to the various levels of our judicial system based on their political coloration? Give me one. There may have been allegations of people having either been
You're asking me how many judges have been appointed based on their political coloration.
Yes.
I think that
as one of the recommendations for the appointment.
How about if it's known that he is a known political person, partisan?
But that is not a qualification
Matters
to
not.
be at the bench.
Matters not. Once it's public knowledge that you actually contested on the ticket of a political party position,
don't our judges...
That masks your qualification a bit.
Yes, but that is not what is considered to nominate someone as a judge, unless you want to tell me otherwise. By the way we run our institutions, will your affiliation or membership to a political party be what you'll be considered with?
But let's be careful.
When you're going,
I'm sorry.
When you're going to contest
let me come in
a
here.
political party,
I just want to make this
either
point.
to be presidential candidate.
No, I just want to make this point.
Okay.
I'm not sure where, as a country, we draw the line. Even as I sit here, every time I go to the polls to vote, I have an interest.
Exactly.
I know who to vote for.
Interest.
Yes, but where do we draw the line when it comes to certain positions?
So if you make me build my point.
No, look, when it comes to certain positions that we have to ensure that we want to protect the integrity of that particular office, including the Electoral Commission, including the judiciary, for executive and legislature, they are strictly partisan. We can't do anything about it. It is what it is. But there are certain positions, we know that they all have interest. They have a cascading effect on both of them or otherwise. We have to ensure that at some point we draw the line where it doesn't get to a point where we say it's free for all. So even if you stand as a party chairman, you can still become an electoral commissioner. I mean, common sense will not even allow you.
On the point of every time you vote for an interest. But when you sit here, you sit as what? You sit as
a neutral.
A neutral, right? That is the position in which you're sitting in now. I sit here as what? I sit here as a member of the New Patriotic Party. Beatrice sits here first as a member of the National Democratic Congress. When we go to the polls, And voting is a civic responsibility. I don't even believe or encourage people not to exercise that responsibility. Because if we want to build the nation that we want, we all must be part of the voting process or the decision-making process. Our judges are citizens too. They vote. So at every point in time, a judge has an interest, which you and I will not know, because your ballot is your secret. You can't sit here, I can't sit here and say, I can assume that Annie voted for the NDC, but I can't state that for a fact. But you can confidently say
where
that
I was going
you
to.
can confidently say that I voted for the MPP.
Yeah.
By virtue of the fact that I've identified myself as a member of the New Patriotic Party. Maybe I didn't. But you can say that for a fact by virtue of the fact that I've identified myself. It would be ridiculous to sit here and say BPs didn't vote for the NDC. So that's the point I'm making. The executive is purely partisan. The legislature is purely partisan. But the judiciary is the neutral ground for all of us. So if you have a government prior to coming into office made all sort of comments about this particular CJ and come into government and implement it, there's nothing nation building or holding our democracy dear or keeping the sanctity and independence of our institutions about what they are doing. It's premeditated political vendetta. The CJ is just being victimized by virtue of the fact that the government of the day, sponsored by the National Democratic Congress, believes that she's not for them. As simple as that. And those are the things that we need to eschew. No matter how much we pray, no matter the number of national days of prayers we designate, if we are going to be going on this vindictive route, it will make no meaning. Because you can't be preaching virtue and practicing vice. Can go back and cite examples. But if it was wrong yesterday, it is wrong today. And this is the first time in the history, and I stand to be corrected, because I'm not 68 years or above 68 years. But in the 68 years of our country, of our republic, I don't think anybody has made it a priority to destabilize the judiciary like this. I stand to be corrected. So in all the name of having a Ghana for all, building a democratic society, having all of us unite in purpose, and this is being done to the neutral ground we all run to. Today, if I do something to Beatrice and she thinks her rights have been infringed on, she'll take me to court. Same as you. I will do same. Because that's where we all go and seek redress. If we feel that our rights have been infringed on. But if there is the priority of this government to implement the promises they made during campaign, went as far as calling her the women's organizer of the New Patriotic Party, mimicking even how she preaches in church on live TV, said all sorts of things about her prior to election, and now you are in power. You are dragging her all over the place. We can only say, because, we run an executive presidency. If the president doesn't want you, you're gone. And Richard is not far from
If the president
Right.
doesn't want you.
Yes, and
What do you
it's
mean
obvious.
if the president doesn't want you?
We have a lot, the president wields a lot of power. Even mentioning the Council of State, apart from the 16 that are elected, right? There are about 10, right, that are appointed by the president. So there's a lot of power and a lot of things, but
That the
how
president can utilize
to
probably
to do what he wants to do.
wish away the petitions.
Do what he wants to do.
Do
He's
what he
decided to fulfill the promise of packing the courts and getting rid of a unanimous SC and all the things they said during the electioneering campaign. But this is a precedent they are setting. And I don't believe, and I think every well-meaning Ghanaian shouldn't think that this is a precedent that grows or enhances nation building
so as a
and our
matter of
democracy.